I don't know, just show you guys a little bit of what's going on today. It's a little unrelated to fragrances, but I'm out here in my backyard, a little upset. I got two trees that are dying. I have this one here that just totally died on me. Don't know what's going on. I don't know if any of you guys are good with gardening, but maybe you can tell me what happened here. Uh, we're in the fire pit here. Just kind of burnt wine. We're doing some s'mores here. Just relaxing. You can see the mess of the s'mores. A little bit of wine. My wife's hi to Daisy, guys.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Yeah. I think, well, if you guys don't know my scent of the day, my scent of the day is Blue Chanel EDT. I know I'm not following my summer list fragrances that are recommended. Well, not recommended. It's basically the fragrances I'll be wearing the most this summer. But yeah, Blue Chanel EDT is an interesting one because it's one that a lot of people, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of love on that one because it's overrated. You know what? You have to stop following what everybody's saying overrated. No, just wear what you like. You know, this is Blue de Chanel, whether you get the EDT, EDP, or the Parfum extract, they're all great fragrances. Does not matter. Let's go as far back as, let's say 1 million. A lot of people either saying 1 million is getting old. No, it's not. 1 million is not getting old. It's just as good as the day it came out now as the day it came out till today. It's a great fragrance. I still recommend it to a lot of people. It's a great compliment getter. It still smells great. Actually, one of my coworkers wears this one on a regular basis, and I really enjoy that one. Yeah, 1 million, highly recommended. It's one that should be on everyone's arsenal fragrances or whatever starter kit fragrances. I don't know if you're probably questioning. Phil, what's up, man? Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is, I know most likely you're watching a video, everyone's curious about what's going on. So yeah, this is the North Remembers. This is all about Game of Thrones. I actually was not a big fan of watching shows or anything. I didn't have the time because of work, but I got into Game of Thrones because just kind of bored in the house. Sometimes I come from work, I'm cutting my lawn or whatever, I'm just hanging out, not having anything to do. My kids from school, so let's say I started watching it. It took me about 2 months or so to finish pretty much every season. Whereas my coworkers had already been watching this for years, so I just started watching it, and for some reason I just got into it. And yeah, that was the show I watched, and I got into it, and I got myself a t-shirt, and my coworkers had it too, it was like a big thing, and yeah, cool show. So yeah, like I said, we're just relaxing here in the backyard. Give you guys a little rundown here. What's going on here? Got my boys here. You guys already know my boys. That's the little one there. That's the big one. My daughter's somewhere, who knows where. She's probably somewhere hiding. Yeah, so today's Sunday, and I'm just enjoying the rest of my day with family before I get back to heavy work. Hopefully not so much of heavy work tomorrow. I do a lot of work. Well, it's been a little slow, but I'm a busy guy. I keep myself busy. I like working. And with my little hobby and having a home, it's not easy. You always got to have a little extra. So if I'm not home, I'm working. Look at this guy. Huh? Look at this guy. Super excited. You hit me with a ball? Oh.
Matthew, Matthew, Matthew.
Yeah, so, if I'm not home, I'm usually working. This has been a little bit of a slow year for me at work, but usually we're running the ball right now. Working almost 6 days a week, and yeah, we do a lot of projects. We're actually, if you guys are curious of what I do a lot of projects at work. We do painting, power washing. We do a lot of general stuff that not the average guy doesn't like doing, but yeah, that's what I do, and it maintains my family, and it sure does well, and it rewards us at the end. We get a lot of recognition from other areas that do like our work, and we do a lot of nice things that yep, pretty much pays off at the end, and I'm able to have everything I have today, and thankful for everything, for my job, for everything that I have right now. And I've been working in my place for over 15 years now. And yeah, so I'm pretty much like a project guy. I'm pretty handy. I do pretty much everything. And if you guys don't know by now, I do pretty much everything. I pretty much cut my own hair. I cut my kids' hair. I do my own mechanical work. So I'm into everything. It's not just fragrances. So giving you a little input on my personal life. Let me clean the camera up a little bit. Looks like it's a little dirty. It looks a little better, yeah. But yeah, I'm do it all type of a guy. Hopefully this guy turns out like that. Hopefully.
Oh, don't touch that.
But fragrances are definitely a big part of my life. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a big thing. I love fragrances, and it's something that I've always have come back to, and something I've always enjoyed. And it's just a fun hobby. It's just the only problem with that hobby is a hobby that once you get into it, it's very easy to go crazy and spend a lot of money, and just overspend sometimes. And it's easier to spend than it is to save. So you have to be very careful when you get into this type of hobby. And I've come to a point in my life that I mostly get stuff that I really like. Every once in a while I pull the trigger, but mainly now I'm at the point where I just get stuff that I really want. And there's going to be, I don't know when I'm going to do it, but sometime in the year, I'll be getting rid of a lot of stuff that I have within the channel. I don't know if I'm going to put it on the channel or maybe open up some type of thing on eBay where I'm going to get rid of stuff. But yeah, I got a lot of fragrances I don't wear. I'm not saying they're bad fragrances. I like them. I just know I'm just not going to wear them as much. So I'm not in the point where I am collecting. I'm more keeping stuff that I'm going to wear. So the collecting part, I don't have the space for it. I can make the space for it in the house, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. But thanks, man. I'll let Remy know. Thanks for tuning in, man. But yeah, it's sorry guys, I'm getting text here from people I know, so I'm also answering texts. I'm on my phone. But yeah, guys, I kind of cut down on the collecting part, more in the point of my life where I'm just grabbing stuff that I really enjoy, keeping stuff but I'm already, my sensors are already picking up. I'm already in the point where I'm only gravitating to certain things, certain fragrances, certain scents. So I don't want to keep stuff like, for example, I'm going to throw this out there right now. For example, Ultramel. Ultramel is super hyped. and it's a lot of people love that fragrance. I remember when I first got it. Wow, it's the hype of the moment. I just don't wear it. And when I wear it, I just it's kind of turns something in me. It just doesn't work with me. I love. It's a nice fragrance, but it's just not for me. And I see a lot of people recommending that fragrance. I just don't think it's for everybody. It's a very young. It's overly sweet. If you want to get a street fragrance that works just as good and classic and not too expensive, stick with 1 million, something like that. Stick with a Le Mans. Stay away from Ultramar. Don't spend all that extra money on Ultramar. It's good, but it's all right. Let it go. So it's all right. It's an okay fragrance. It's okay. There's better options out there. Yeah. So my go-to fragrances right now that I've been gravitating towards the most have been fragrances with bitter notes. I'm into the more classy fragrances. I'll tell you one that I'm really enjoying right now. One's like Terre d'Hermes Ultra Fresh, which is one I highly, extremely, to the highest level, I would recommend that to anybody that follows my channel. This is a great fragrance. I'm telling you right now, it might not be the most projecting, but it just has this aura of elegance and nice cleanliness, and it really doesn't have an age boundary. I would recommend it to anybody any age. Of course, not gonna be 10 years old and wearing that, but I guess a 10-year-old could pull it off. Any of the Ultra Fresh is great. It's another one I will recommend you guys to look into. If any of you guys are into niche, are experimenting with fragrances, or you want to get into niche fragrances, I will say start with Creed. Creed has a lot of great options. And my recommendation will be for you to start when you're looking for fragrances. You want to know what's going on or what notes you like in the fragrances. Pick up one of the fragrances that you truly enjoy out of your collection, whatever it is that you have, and you can go to Fragrantica. And Fragrantica usually gives you a note breakdown, whatever it is that you have, and you can actually pinpoint those notes or write those notes down, and just you look at fragrances and you can kind of look at the notes and kind of compare it to whatever it is that you have, and you can get an idea what you like, and kind of get a little pyramid of the notes, and pick out other fragrances that are in that perimeter of scent. If I were to recommend you starting fragrances for you guys that are starting on fragrances, now let's just step away from compliments. We're just getting into great smelling fragrances, good smelling, safe fragrances. Besides compliment getters, I think compliment getting has a lot to do with your the way you approach people, your sense of humor. Fragrances do help. That is not the key to getting compliments, but there are many options out there. Great fragrances. Generally, designer fragrances are built for the masses. Most people will give you positive feedback when it comes to designer fragrances. But if I was to give a person a starter kit, let's say I'll pick 5 fragrances right off the bat, I would say Blue de Chanel, Sauvage. I don't care if it's popular. Don't worry about that. Blue de Chanel, Freshie, Sauvage, projects. It's got a lot of power. 1 million, smells great, universally loved, nice to go out to the clubs and stuff like that. For fragrance that's nice and freshy for the summer, I would recommend to you as a designer. I would say look at Your Own Cologne. Your Own Cologne is the lighter juice. That's a great fragrance to go out in the summer. And a 5th fragrance will be a night out fragrance. Will be a darker fragrance that you can probably pick up at your local stores. Will be a La Nuit de L'Homme, which is another one that works very nice to go out at nighttime and stuff like that. But generally, most of these fragrances could work year round, any temperature, any time. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great rest of your weekend. I'm gonna finish off here with my wife. I know my wife is here, sitting here, and looking at me, talking to you guys. But I just want to make a little time for you guys because I'm always busy, and let's catch a little time here. Talk about a little something that we do all enjoy, which is fragrances. And I tell you guys always when it comes to fragrances, be very cautious of what you listen to and what you're recommended to buy because it's a very tricky market, and everybody has their own sense of character, or in the sense of smell. Everybody has their own palate, and sometimes you can go based on somebody that says I highly recommend you get this, and it might be a fragrance that you've received, and it might be the worst fragrance you ever smelled. So I suggest you go to the stores, go out there, go out to like Macy's, Marshalls, whatever you got, and just try out fragrances. You might find something you like, and maybe you can, if you're a follower of mine, you can start your own channel, start recommending stuff that I want to hear about that I haven't heard of. And yeah. So anyways, you guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. My little buddy here. Love you all. And see you guys on the next one. Peace. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Bye.